Oh my. Oh my.
You are now tuned in to the Revolution Podcast.
Yo, what's good? What's happening? It's your boy J Love, and you are tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show, aka the Revolution Podcast. And you know what? I gotta remind folks, I'm because I'm a little bit new to this, so I'm kind of getting used to the whole thing. You need to make sure that you subscribe. You need to hit the subscribe button. You need to hit the little bell, the little ding, 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 so you can get them notifications. Yada dig. And make sure that you like and comment, because we want to hear what you guys, what you feel about the show, how y'all liking it or not. I mean, you don't have to like it, I guess. But I want to make sure, I can't reiterate this enough, make sure that you subscribe. Would really appreciate that. So with that being said, as usual, I have with me the multi-talented, the incredibly beautiful Miss Sheri Marlene. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Glad to hear that. And today I'm a little bit nervous. So today we got a special guest. My boy Mark DeMoyka couldn't make it today because we're doing mostly like, this is like about the ladies or for the ladies or dedicated to the ladies. That's why I got the pink on, right? Shout out, because it's feminine, right?
Well, you have to bring out the point that we matched on accident.
We did.
It's way too coincidental.
You know what I'm saying? We were part of an R&B group, and we were matching from head to toe. Y'all will see some pictures on Instagram if you follow. Because my Instagram is at JLoveOfficial, and you are at Mars Mindset, correct?
That's right.
MarsMindset.
That's right.
Boom. I got it. But we got a special guest today. We have the beautiful Miss Susan Fernandez.
Yes.
How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great.
That's good to hear. So look, I'm going to jump in this because I already know this one is going to be real interesting because I'm probably going to get in trouble for a lot of the things I say today.
Which is nothing new.
But at the same time, I think we're going to learn something.
I hope so.
That's the whole point of today is that, I'm hoping that on this one, for those of you who follow us, you know that I love the term species.
Right.
So I will be the first to say that I hope that my species, the male species, pick up on the lessons of today. And I hope that the female species get some understanding about my species, and then all the species will coexist in harmony and wonder. So here's what we're talking about. So let me get straight to it. So Miss Sheri Marlene and I were having a conversation one day, right? And we were talking about just, she was sharing with me some of the ridiculousness that she encounters being a woman dealing with my species in this world.
Yep.
And I was kind of blown away at just like how frequent, your experiences were, right?
Yep.
And so and then I was like, wow, this is like, it just was crazy to me. Like, I'm like every day, like all the time, like, because I mean, I get hit on, but, not like, every day. It's like once every 6 years, but, But then, I started talking to other friends of mine. I started talking to, just a lot of different female friends. I spoke to our guest here, Miss Susan, and she was sharing some stuff with me. But before we get to that, because I think part of it is we got to get some understanding. Y'all need to understand dudes. Okay.
Okay.
And so let me say this first before I get myself in trouble. I'm not condoning any specific behaviors. However, some things, because I spoke with a bunch of guys as well. And so the first portion of this is my fellas has some questions, some comments and concerns for you to answer, ladies, about your behavior.
Okay.
So that being said, one of the main things that kept being reiterated to me over and over again is, why is it okay for women to do really like what, we'll call it inappropriate things to other women, right? And it'd be like real hee giggle, girl, you crazy. But if we do, so for example, my man, I ain't gonna put him out there on blast, but he said, look, you could be out somewhere like at the pool and all the girls is in bikinis, and one girl will come up to the other girl, smack her on the booty, and everybody like, aha, girl, you crazy, you got a big booty. But if I come up and smack the girl on the booty, I'm a pervert.
I feel like there are so many things that have to be taken into consideration with that.
My boys are listening. Go on ahead.
Okay. So first of all, not any woman is going to come over and smack my butt. We already have to have that. We're cool. We're just friends. And we're on that level of you just coming playfully smacking my butt. So that's one. And that's a female. Okay.
Okay.
So second, it's different because for men, you guys find everything sexual. If I'm smacking another girl's butt, it's not because I'm literally watching it bounce up and down. I'm doing it to be playful in the same way that you might push his arm.
Okay, potentially touche, but, and again, asking for a friend. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that, like, okay, we'll even say, I won't even say another woman, right? Something that, like, shout out to my boy Chris. He was like, yo, why is it that, like, if a girl finds a dude attractive,
okay,
he can say the most ridiculous thing to her. But an ugly dude or someone she doesn't deem attractive can say something real. So let me give the example my boy Chris gave, right? He said he works in the office situation, right? And the dude that all the girls were like, all, giddy about, that dude would say really inappropriate stuff. And he would be like, just really crazy. Like, hey, girl, let me take you in the closet and, work out your weave. Right? They'd be like, oh my God, you're so silly. Why are you so silly? But then like the little nerdy dude would be like, oh, your blouse looks really nice. It looks cute on you today. And they'd be like, pervert, why are you looking at my blouse?
I guess in the same way that when a man really loves a woman or cares about her, he does things he wouldn't typically do for the ugly girl he's not attracted to. It's the same answer. For example, one of my friends, Patricia, her now husband, she invited him to go get sushi and I love sushi. Little did she know years later, that was his first time trying sushi. He hated it, but swore up until they were in a relationship that he absolutely loved it. Do you think he'd do that for the little ugly girl?
Maybe.
He wouldn't.
It's a free meal.
It's the first time he's done it.
Look, the thing is you guys be real hypocritical with your behavior.
Is it being hypocritical or is it just dependent on it's determined on if we want to deal with that or not?
Right, but like, okay, for example, let me give another one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you wear a certain outfit, like if you wear like some little bitty booty shorts, right, with your sisters hanging out, the twins, that's what we call them where I come from, the twins, and the twins is saying hello to everybody, and a fella comments on the twins or the cakes, the birthday cakes, wants to blow out some candles, y'all gonna have an issue with it, but isn't that the whole reason why y'all was wearing the little shorts and the stuff?
So I see that point, and it again depends on where we're at, right? Because if I'm on vacation, there's definitely vacation clothes, and I don't expect that to be an invitation that I want somebody because I'm in a bikini.
But why are you wearing it for attention, right?
I'm wearing it because I'm at a beach. So again, it depends. If I'm in a bathing suit in a business setting, then I'm kind of begging for attention at that point.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Miss Susan, at the club. I know you ain't, because right now you look very nice. You know what I'm saying? You have a very, wonderful outfit on. But I assume you don't wear that at the club.
No, obviously I don't. There's a time and place for everything. And I obviously would dress more provocative if I'm going to a club. I would do my makeup a whole different way, my hair a whole different way. Just everything would be different. It just depends where I'm going.
Okay, so if at the club somebody noticed your more, and I'm going to use your words, your more provocative outfit.
Yes.
Okay.
So is he now out of line for appreciating the provocativeness that you put on?
I feel like one thing is looking and another thing is actually touching me, because I've had both. Where they're saying comments from far away, they're, inappropriate comments that are bothering me, but also, of course, there's a nice way to say a compliment. But then you get like the jerks that are just, I don't know if they think they sound cool or look cool in front of their friends.
So I think too, though, it's one thing. I think the biggest misconception is if we're dressed a certain way, we're asking for something. You all should get that thought out of your head, because if you're talking about a club, I'm trying to look cute in this tight dress, not for any other man. I mean, even when I was married.
What are you looking cute for?
My girlfriends. Are you kidding? We're like comparing outfits and oh my gosh, you look fire. And maybe I've been in the gym consecutively for the last 6 months and I'm out ready to try on this motivation dress that I finally fit into. So that's one. Two, a compliment with respect, to your point, Susan, is totally welcome. Thank you. that you notice that I appreciate it, but then let it end there. The problem with your species is,
Oh, here we go.
if we say thank you or even smile at you and you know this to be true, all of a sudden it translates in the brain, the man brain is, you want, oh my God, did you see that? She wants to have sex. No, I don't. I said thank you.
But again, you have to take into consideration. Okay. And here's where y'all need to have some. And again, I'm not condoning any behavior.
Okay.
So y'all get an understanding. When it comes to interaction between men and women, and when we're talking about sex and hunting, hunting, right? You have to remember, boys learn about it from two places. Both of them are lying. We learn about it from our boys, and they for sure is lying. And we learn about it from porn. Right?
Okay.
And porn's a lie. And what you have to remember is in every scenario you can potentially think of, it's in a porn. So I'll give you an example. You go to 7-Eleven to buy some milk and cookies. Guess what? There's a girl behind the counter at 7-Eleven where you bought some milk and cookies. And you know what happened? Because remember, the brain is a computer, right? It only knows what you program it to know. So in a boy brain, the girl smiled at you. The next thing you know, it's supposed to go down. So to go back to the dressing in the club situation, I'm going to blame this one on my auntie because she's the original one that gave me this scenario. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if we're out one night, right? You ladies are looking beautiful, whatever. You come out of a whatever, whether it be a restaurant, bar, club, whatever. Someone steals your purse.
Okay.
They come running in my direction. I happen to be dressed like a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So you yell at me, hey, Mr. Officer, you need to stop those people. And then I look at you real offended and go, wait, hold on. Just because I'm dressed like a police officer doesn't mean you have the right to treat me like a police officer. I just like to dress this way. So in the same way, my auntie's words, mind you, if we get confused because you might potentially have a hooker's uniform on, is it our fault for mistaking you for a hooker? Now, we're not saying you a hooker, but you got the uniform on. So can we then be blamed?
So my answer to that is one, you're comparing a person of authority to something illegal. I just want to point that out. Two,
depending on the state.
True. Until I'm dressed in a nurse's outfit and your arms cut open, then you can compare that. I don't think that that's a fair comparison, but I see your point. So let me go back to it. If a man's going to approach me to compliment me, I'm never, ever rude. I will politely say thank you. They just don't know how to stop, in which case they get a lecture out of me saying, this is why women that are attractive are turned into the B words, right? And can't even say thank you or be nice because you don't know when to stop. And then now he's sitting there like I'm his mother and he has his head down. He's like, you right, I'm sorry. Exactly. Be respectful. This is why I can't say thank you. This is why I have to roll my eyes at you and flip my hair and you just think, she just thinks she's too good. No, it's because you don't know how to stop.
Look, I agree. Again, I agree with y'all. Okay, I'm just bringing up stuff that were brought to my attention. I'm gonna bring up a last scenario before I switch this a little bit.
Okay.
Right, but because at some point, because guys are like, yo, at what point do women have any responsibility in this? Right. So here's another scenario.
Responsibility in what? Let's clarify.
The perception of your character. So again, not to say that you a hooker.
Okay.
But you gotta look like one a little bit. Does it,
So then it goes back to definition really quickly. What is the woman wearing?
Like the very stereotypical little itty bitty tiny black dress, that barely cover the donkey donk, with the twins saying hello to everybody.
Well,
I'm just one example.
It's like a bartender or a waitress. They're dressed the way that their occupation requires them to dress, but and automatically all the clients come in thinking I'm coming into a freaking a place where I'm gonna go home with the waitress, the bartender. It just doesn't make any sense to me how automatically they assume you're a hoe because you work in that environment. Okay. Or because you're dressed that way. Exactly what you're saying. Like,
no, I didn't say this.
Obviously, you're there to make money. You're there to work. You're there to hustle. You're gonna dress appropriate for the occasion.
No, I got you. And listen, I understand that you wearing whatever you wear is not an invitation for anyone to say or whatever to you. I get that, right? What we're talking about here is that in general, in public, right, there's a communication breakdown between men and women, right? So we're thinking, because you have to remember, most of our lives, and again, this is not to make, I got to keep saying this over and over again, this is not to excuse behavior.
Right.
But most of our life, no hasn't always exactly meant no.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? Because there's the reason we continue to push things is because, let's be honest, there's been several times in our lives where stuff that started out with a no ended up with a ooh. Ooh. So you have
We
to
get it.
So I'm saying, so it's a little bit confusing to us, and I will even admit that maybe because we're not as mature as y'all. Okay, we're a little bit stupid. We err on the stupid side.
I agree.
Okay. But it's a numbers game to us. We understand not every girl going to say yes, but if you keep throwing darts, eventually you're going to hit the board. You know what I'm saying? And so at some point, and I'm telling you, this is the conversations I've been having with guys all week. When do women take responsibility? And I'll give you another specific example of what was asked to me. So I got to give that qualification, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a gentleman. This has nothing to do with me. But I've been talking to people all week long. And so, for example, ladies, and I got to be very clear about this. If a dude invites you to his hotel room, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 11:30 in the afternoon, you're not going to talk about business. Like, at what point do you take responsibility?
Okay, so what scenario are we talking about? Because I agree with you. And a woman should take responsibility. You're not going to go to the hotel and play patty cake. We get that.
Thank you. That's always so. If he proceeds to act in a particular manner,
Okay.
why is he the jerk or the pervert and he is? But
But
why
I
is
have
he
a question. Is he misleading her in any way, shape, or form? Because I personally have had people who have been visiting or that I met up with and like, okay, let's just go back to my hotel room. We sincerely are going to talk. I don't want to be disrespectful to you. If you feel uncomfortable with that, we can just stay in the lobby. And I have hung out with someone that I trusted and absolutely nothing happened, obviously.
Right.
But my question is, are you saying, what's your scenario? They just met for the first time and he says, come back to my hotel, and she's being oblivious. Like, I didn't know we were going to do anything when he said that, because that's stupid.
Well, I mean, just to some degree, I mean, you kind of get it. Like, if it's, okay, let's say this. How about this to keep it even? If it's dark outside, I think it's safe to say if it's dark outside and, his voice drop a little bit like, hey, you know what I mean? You want to go? Let's just go talk. You know what I mean? Go to my room. We just go talk for a little bit, You know what I mean?
So see, by then I would have already karate chopped so much that he wouldn't have stood a chance.
But
so.
do you get what I'm saying? Where like, because obviously, famously, we know Pac went to jail over something he didn't do. Shout out Tupac. You know what I mean? Like I still don't believe Mike Tyson did what he was accused of. Even like, and I'm gonna get so many people gonna get so mad at me about what I'm about to say. But even look at Bill Cosby. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So. Not making excuses
Right.
for behavior. Bill Cosby's definitely a pervert.
Okay.
But in the 70s and 80s, people partied with Quaaludes. It was a different time. That's not necessarily drugging somebody, number one.
Okay.
Number two, they came back to his hotel room. Number three, several of the women continued to date him after the alleged assault or, whatever you want to call it, right?
Okay.
I'm not dating you if you assaulted me. Like, at what point do women take responsibility?
Okay.
And it's not just, you were a victim.
Okay.
Because promise, if you punch me in the face, I'm not coming back over if you punch me in the face the first time.
I agree with you.
So I won?
So no, I think that there are scenarios where people have taken advantage of opportunities, right? So in that regard, do I think every single person that was ever accused of something is all guilty just because someone said so? No. Right?
Right.
And so to your point, that person who continued to date them, I would agree. I don't see favor on that side. But I do also believe there's, on the other side of it, women have been victim in that. What do you do? Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We want to hear from you. Instagram at The Revolution Podcast, at JLoveOfficial, and at Mars Mindset.